All right, our top story this morning. Security in and around the Durban High Court will be tight for today's appearance of former President Jacob Zuma. He faces 16 charges, including corruption and racketeering, which originate from the government arms deal in the 1990s. For more, let's cross live now to our reporter, Blain Herman. He's outside the Durban High Court. Blain, a very, very good morning to you. Let's first start off with a look at security plans that are in place for today's appearance of our former president.
Yeah, Leanne, very good morning to you. Good morning, everybody. It is a matter that has attracted a lot of public interest and debate over the years. It is indeed a big news story. The former President Jacob Zuma being summoned to appear here at the Durban High Court. And ironically, on this very date, 9 years ago, the then acting National Director of Public Prosecutions, Mokhthedi Mshe, said that it was neither possible nor desirable to continue for the NPA to continue with the prosecution of Jacob Zuma. Now, that 2009 decision was set aside by the North Gauteng High Court, and just last year, in fact, the Supreme Court of Appeal dismissed an appeal. Now this year, the National Director of Public Prosecutions, Shaun Abrahams, reinstated the charges, and Mr. Zuma is facing 16 charges, and it relates to corruption, money laundering, fraud, as well as racketeering, and this is in connection with the multi-billion rand arms deal. Now, today's proceedings is likely to be short. The matter set down today is basically to formally enroll the case, and this basically gets that process going in order to set a trial date. But we could see a postponement here. That's a possibility. It's possible that former President Jacob Zuma's legal team will place on record their intention to review the decision to reinstate these criminal charges. So that, well, we'll just have to wait and see whether that actually happens. The formal proceedings kick off at 9:30. This courtroom A, is said to be packed, and also the crowds outside the Durban High Court is also going to be, well, we're expecting large crowds to gather here. And indeed, as we were saying, the security is beefed up. There's bound to be traffic congestions, and let me bring in the person who's always in the know in KwaZulu-Natal, Ayanda Mhlongo, who joins me now live. Ayanda, thank you very much indeed for your time. You're going to be covering what's happening outside the court. What can we expect?
Yeah, very good morning to you, Blain, and to our viewers at home. Very good morning to you all. Certainly, yeah, all eyes on the case. This is the day President Jacob Zuma has said he wants his day in court, Blain, and today we are finally here. Of course, a great deal of support. This is his home province. He's always enjoyed immense support from the province of KwaZulu-Natal, and this time around, his supporters have said, like they did way back in 2005, 2007, 2008, outside the Pietermaritzburg High Court, when they came out in their numbers day and night in support of President Jacob Zuma, that today as well they are going to be out here in their numbers. The team or the organizers that are arranging the supporters, calling themselves the Radical Economic Transformation Champions. As soon as the NPA boss Shaun Abrahams announced that President Jacob Zuma would be, the charges against him would be reinstated, we start to see mobilizing taking place here in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. They've been crisscrossing the province trying to garner much support from him, and they've said between 5,000 to 10,000 people are expected here today. Started, of course, yesterday, Blain, last night with the night visual, which they were able to pull it off. Certainly they had said they were not going to expect as many people last night, but it did go off as planned, really setting the mood for what was going to happen here today. There's going to be this morning, our colleague Sibongakonke Mbata, she's going to be up the road from where we are at the King Dinuzulu Park. That is where the crowds are going to be gathering, will make their way outside here to court. Of course, it's led by various clergymen representing various religious denominations. They're going to be out here. What we understand from them, Blain, as soon as they arrive, and they're expected, as you said, in court around 9:30, but they said they would be here outside court around 8 8. As soon as the former president arrives, he is going to then to be brought to the crowd. There's going to be a short prayer for him before he then makes his way into the court. So certainly a great deal of interest, Blain. I'm sure at home South Africans will be following. Outside here, there's certainly going to be thousands of people. They're out here to say they support the man who they believe has served their country well, still believing that he is innocent. In fact, many of them still saying that they believe that this is a political conspiracy. And they still cannot get over the fact that in 2008, when their charges were said to be dropped because of said political interference, they still believe that that is the case. And today they're going to be out here in their numbers to support the former president.
It's going to be a busy morning indeed, and we'll look forward to your reporting later on, as well as our colleague Sponga Mbata will be covering this march that's happening right here in Durban. But for now, it's back to studio.
All right, that's, of course, Blain Herman and Ayanda Mhlongo. They're going to be covering it for us this morning. We'll be crossing to them regularly, so do stay tuned to the program.